Hello. Welcome to Beyond Body, Mind, Spirit. I'm Michele, Risa, CEO and founder.
And I'm Abigail Meller, professional development intern.
And a wonderful intern she is. The best. So let me begin by restating that our show today is about how to be the best you. And it's just 4 easy steps. And we've outlined them all, and we'll take you through them all. The first is emotional intelligence. The second, yoga. The third, meditation. And finally, we will end with healthy eating. I'd love to give you a definition of emotional intelligence that we have found from helpguide.org, in case you'd like to use that resource. And they say, quote, emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, use, understand, and manage emotions in positive ways, to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Wow, right? So wouldn't we, I'll say, but wouldn't many of us like to have that? And we hope we can give you a few ideas of how best to do that. One is quite simply learning how to change how you do what you do. Not what you do, but how you do it. And an example of what that may look like is just think about when we're sick and we're not feeling well and some loud noise is in our environment, and basically we are very irritated. However, if we're on vacation and having fun, the very same noise may not hardly be noticed. So how we feel, whether we're sick or feeling really well. And yes, I appreciate I said vacation, but just trying to get you into that scene or paint a picture for you is to just understand, we're healthy and happy, or we're in bed not feeling really well. So what we thought we'd start with is getting you to feel better and start with yoga, okay? And very specifically, we're looking to strengthen the immune system, all right? So if you can put that CG up, we're ready to do yoga to strengthen the immune system. Grab your 2 elbows. As you inhale, just raise both arms up, tap your forehead, and as you exhale, lower it to your navel. And here we go. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So let me just, as you continue doing this, inhaling and exhaling, and you're doing great, thank you, Abigail, is to realize, how could this be impacting my immune system? Well, we have lymph nodes, yes, all over our body, and as we raise and lower our arms this way, we're engaging the lymphatic system that actually is under our armpits. So just do this very simple movement with me, inhaling up, exhaling down, and strengthen your immune system. So again, we can do the how of our lives, feeling a lot happier and healthier. Okay, so last little bit. And we're almost there. So just inhale up, exhale down. Anytime you feel tired, feel free to stop. Always respect yourself. And when you can, just start again. Don't forget to breathe though. So many times as we do a movement, people hold their breath, and it makes it a lot harder because breathing gives you energy. Yeah, are you feeling energy?
I'm feeling very energized.
Hopefully your immune system is liking it as well. Last few little movements. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last 3. How's that? Okay, 2 more. 1 more. And please relax. Good. So, as you can see, we're doing it in a chair. So all of what we're doing tonight is accessible to really anyone who can sit in a chair, and as we are, and breathe. You may not be able to do it for as many repeated times as we have done it, but right, we all start somewhere. Goodness, do I know that message? And we need to then just take it from where we are to where we want to go. So we're now going to move to our meditation segment, because of having not only a healthy body is important, but having a healthy mind is equally important, and meditation is the way to do that. I know yoga is more known in our society at this point, but I promise you meditation will become quickly as popular as people recognize the importance of it. So just before we begin, you just want to close your eyes for a moment and really send power to your navel. Okay, that is your power center. And that's how we can build confidence. And who doesn't want more confidence? Very simple movement. We're basically going to take your right hand, block your right nostril, inhale through your left. And as you hold that, just pump your navel. And we're going to try it 6 pumps. And that's 6. Block your left nostril and exhale right. There you go. Again, inhale through your left nostril, blocking your right. Hold your breath and pump your navel. Pump 4, 5, 6. Block your left. Exhale right. Let's continue. Inhale left. Hold your breath and pump 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block your left. Exhale right. Thank you. You're doing great. Inhale. Hold your breath and silently, actually, saying Wa, Hey, Guru. Wa, Hey, Guru. It's one of those words on this tape. Exhale. It means well beyond description is this journey from darkness to light. And oh my gosh, is this an incredible journey. Pump 5, 6. Exhale. Inhale left. And now let's see if we can do it a little longer. And hold your breath and pump. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's see. Exhale right. Just a few more. And here we go. Hold your breath. Think Waheguru. Waheguru. Again, wow beyond description is this journey from darkness to light. And I think that's enough. Close your left. Exhale right. Let's see if we can go to 12. Inhale left. If you can't, just do your best, but pump, 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 pump. That's 6. Pump, pump, pump. 9. Pump, pump, pump. Exhale. Last time. Inhale left. Here we go. So, Wa, Hey, Guru. Wa, Hey, Guru. Wa, Hey, Guru. Wa, Hey, Guru. Block your left. Exhale right. Super. And let's end it there. So just to give you a few more pointers on that, and you did great, I'm sure, is it balances the 2 hemispheres of our brain. It has us focus. Some meditations, people think you just need to sit and do nothing, and there are meditations that do exactly that. But this is from Kundalini Yoga heritage, and we do repetition. We often use silent or verbal mantras but of course we can't speak and breathe as we did at the same time, so in this one we're using our 2 nostrils. So if you'd like any more information, let me just mention it now, and I'll say it again later. You can email me at mrisa@beyondbodymindspirit. I'll just say it and spell it, MRISA @beyond, BEYOND, body, BODY, mind, MIND, spirit, SPIRIT.com. All right, we're going to continue. So let me just say before I forget, this whole series of Being the Best You is just been published in a wonderful magazine called Elucid, and I recommend you highly looking for it. It's a very, very fancy magazine, very beautifully done, and this issue is about being beautiful on the inside and out. How perfect is that? So we're happy to have 5 pages of our article in this wonderful magazine, and hope you pick it up. All right, we're ready to move on to healthy eating. Okay, so this next article Abigail and I wrote together, and it was just recently published in Barclays Bank's newsletter, which goes worldwide, and we thank you, Barclays, for thinking highly enough of our article to publish it to your people. So I'll start by saying to you, since Abigail wrote it as well, we talked about sugar. What would you like to say about sugar?
So the thing about sugar is, even though you may pick up something and see that sugar is not listed as an ingredient, it actually has many disguises that hide in your food. And some examples of those are dextrose, sucrose, cane sugar, cane juice, and barley malt syrup are just 4 examples of the many different disguises of sugar that hide in your food.
Right, so if you read a label and sugar is not listed, but one of these names are in it, it still has sugar. So we want you to really start eliminating it, because we know it causes obesity, diabetes, inflammation, wreaks havoc with our nervous system. So I know we're all aware. But I want to add that it shows up in a lot of different foods, and we have some here, which I'm sure you've already seen, maybe some, where it sneaks up, because we think sugar is only in, say, sweet candy or cookies or cake, and that's not the case. So actually, Abigail, you want to look at what Skippy has as what its first and second ingredients are?
So the first ingredient, no surprise there, is roasted peanuts, but the second is sugar, and this is very straightforward, that it definitely has sugar in it, and it doesn't have any of the hidden examples, but it really is, they do have a lot of sugar in peanut butter.
And we do recommend, and I eat peanut butter, but there are many brands out there that are just peanuts, and if you need the salt, but no other ingredient. Another surprise is our pasta sauce has sugar. I'm happy to show you one that does not, if you want to just hand that to me. So here's an example of something that does not offer sugar, and just quickly, the ingredients are organic tomato puree, and let's see if I can actually read this, I'm trying. Organic tomatoes, organic basil, organic soybean oil, salt, organic onions, organic garlic, I'll have to keep saying organic, it was garlic powder, organic oregano, and again, organic garlic. There was the powder as well as the garlic. So there are examples of wonderful pasta sauces out there without the sugar. I suggest you really try it, because what really makes that sweet is not sugar, but the onions, right? Onions are really, really sweet. So there's wonderful natural ways to make your food sweet without adding sugar. And just very quickly, I want to mention 2 other quick common foods that have sugar. If you'd like to help us with the ketchup, a lot of people use it.
So ketchup actually has a lot of sugar. It is not quite the first ingredient, but it is in the form of not only high fructose corn syrup, which has been in the press a lot, we all know it's bad for you, but also regular corn syrup. And those are definitely two things that have a lot of sugar and make it not very good for you.
And last but not least, we want to say where sugar also has a tendency to hide is in crackers. And again, we found a raisin rosemary crisp that does not. And so again, I'll just say, please, as you purchase your food, if you want to eliminate sugar, there are wonderful ways to do that without compromising flavor or taste. So hope you try one or two of those suggestions. The next that I'd like to talk about is the confusion about how to when we go on diets. So would you like to share some information about why diets really don't work?
Of course. So we all know
this is tip number 2, by the way.
Tip number 2. We all know about the fad diets, Atkins diet, South Beach diet, Zone diet. But the problem with them is that you go on them and it's very extreme, very restrictive. And as soon as you lose weight, sure, sometimes. And then afterwards, after all of that restriction and not letting yourself have what you want, you overindulge and end up gaining back the weight and oftentimes more. So the important lesson about that is you can't restrict yourself and you can't overindulge. You have to find that balance in the middle.
Right. I mean, research even shows that I think it's like 50 to 97% of all people have cravings, right? We all have them. So, and when we have them, what happens? We overindulge. And so an easy way of not doing that, I shouldn't say easy, but with practice, is to be more moderate. And we're saying try the 80-20 rule. Have 80% of your foods be really nourishing for you, and think about, well, I do, carrots for your eyes and what's great for your skin and what really gives you energy. Think about foods, really what they're meant for is fuel, right? I mean, we put fuel into a car and we want the highest octane for our car to run the best. Why wouldn't we want the same for this vehicle called my body? So the 80-20 rule says 80% of what you eat should be high octane, right? And then have the other 20%, those things that you love, that will be more moderate, and then you wouldn't be tempted to, after all that deprivation, overindulge, right? So that was our second tip, and I hope that helps you. All right, we're ready to move on to our third, because sometimes moderation is really hard. So what do we have as tip number 3, what do we have for people?
Moderation can be very hard, and honestly, sometimes it just doesn't work for everybody. There's no one way to do the right thing, for you. You have to figure it out on your own. So our suggestion is substitution. Substitute, instead of having that chocolate bar, that piece of cake when you're really craving something sweet. One example is to have strawberries with stevia, which is a sugar substitute that's, good for you or better. And that adds that extra sweetness that really hits that sweet spot.
Right. Right. And another idea is, instead of, say, chips, try some nuts. And again, if you're looking at salt, because we know salt is in a lot of foods as well, and it's not good for us either, you can find reduced salt nuts now more than ever before. So substitute, that can help. So I think we're on to tip number 4. Okay? And we recognize that a lot of times people feel healthy foods are boring. I remember, when I think of a diet, I'd say, oh gosh, are you talking about celery sticks and carrot sticks? And what could be more boring than that? But our tip number 4 is to spice up healthy food with natural sweetness. And so what we've decided to do is introduce you here to, the usual boring, salad, okay? And romaine or iceberg is just fine. Just start with that. But what we're suggesting to spice it up is really to add some wonderful additions, add some great food. So Abigail, you want to take us through what we're suggesting?
So we say to start with the base, the plain base that some people say are boring, or whatever you say, and then add in something a little bit healthier, something with a little bit more nutrients, such as we have here. Kale is the best option, but you can use mixed greens, or spinach are also great because they are really high in your nutrients. And then to make it more exciting, you can add stuff like raisins or nuts, which is what we have here. We have some golden raisins and almonds. And some other examples could be watermelon and feta. Don't put too much feta because it's really not so good for you, but just a little is all right, like we said, moderation. Or what was the other example that we had come up with?
Apples. Sometimes, other types of fruits. Abigail mentions watermelon, but I've put apples in my salad with walnuts, actually. I love that. Pears, I find also, because let's not only think summertime, but we need ways to make our salads interesting during the winter, and not all of us can access watermelon and other fruits in the wintertime. So yeah, just be inventive and you'll find that salads will be less boring, and they're great for you in terms of the fiber and all the vitamins and minerals that it provides. So all right, so make yourself a wonderful salad. What we also want to offer everyone, and we hope this will help you, is a chart that we found published by foodday.org. Another wonderful, wonderful resource. Again, foodday, FOODDAY.org. And they came up with a fabulous, fabulous chart that we're happy to share with you. So if you'd like to email us, we'll be happy to email it to you. There's about 50 fruits on it, but we picked the top four, actually top three, top three, and I'll start with a question. All right, here we go.
Quiz time.
So, in the chart, very quickly, the criteria for the best is it has carotenoids, which are the yellow, orange, red pigment in fruits and vegetables, which really help decrease the possibility of heart attacks, for instance. Vitamin C, we all know to use that when we're hopefully trying to prevent coming down with a cold. Potassium, which lowers your blood pressure. Another variable is folate, which is our B vitamins, B9. Lots of fiber in fruits, which helps our digestive and elimination system, getting rid of all the toxins in our body. We need that. And finally, of course, calories. So they rated them on all these 6 variables. And so here's a question for you. If you feel a cold coming on, which fruit do you reach for? Guava or an orange?
Well, a lot of people may say orange, but the correct answer is actually guava, because it has,
5 times.
5 times
more
the amount
vitamin C.
Of vitamin C. And that's it really does help boost your immune system when you're feeling not so great.
So another wonderful example of variety. Yes, oranges are wonderful, but maybe you'll treat yourself to guava. Let me go to number 2, okay? What fruit is best to address dehydration? And I'll give you a hint, it has a red color.
Well, definitely watermelon.
Right.
Watermelon, self-explanatory. It has a lot of water. It's actually 91% water. And so it really gives you, the water that you need, especially in the hot summer, as well as that fun color and a good sweetness. I love watermelon. It's one of my favorites.
Right. And again, the carotenoids, we mentioned the color. This provides you with those, which we mentioned earlier, red, yellow, and orange. Okay. And finally, the number 3, is, and I'll say this, which fruit is less vulnerable to pesticides? Okay, and the choice would be kiwi or strawberries.
So the answer is kiwi, and that's because it's better, in order to reduce the amount of pesticides that you consume, it's important to choose fruits that you don't eat their skin. You take off the skin before you eat them. So kiwi is one example, bananas, any sorts of things where you don't ordinarily eat the skin. And actually, strawberries are known to be one of the highest amount of pesticides on the fruit.
Right, we spray, unfortunately, a lot on it. So if ever you were thinking about eating, and we all love strawberries during the summer, there are rinses you can get that are inexpensive to eliminate most of them, or if you're really desiring strawberries, you might want to, on that particular fruit, go for organic. All right, so that chart, again, I'll just mention my email address. It's MRISA @BeyondBodyMindSpirit. 4 words, Beyond, BEYOND, Body, BODY, Mind, MIND, Spirit, SPIRIT.com. All right, so thank you for all of that help. So what we would also like to mention is in our kind of wrapping things up here is a secret to change, a secret to change. We all want change, and improvement in our life, because it's important, right? The quality of our life is really, really important. And so the secret, as you see right now, is practice, patience, and persistence. And it really helps to understand how the mind works. It'll help us stay with the practice, be patient, and yet persist. And here's how the mind works. When we have a habit, things happen automatically, right? We don't even think about it, we just do it. And that's because when we started with that particular action, it was a new thought. It was something we hadn't done before. And it really starts out as a neuron, right? Creating that pathway, going down the synapses, right? And it's almost like a footpath. It's really not that wide, and it's kind of, you can just barely make it through on the footpath. But as you practice continually, right, with patience, because what you then need to do is turn that footpath into a 6-lane superhighway, and those are the habits. So if you want to change anything in your life, you need to understand that you have to wait till your brain catches up with what you're doing. And it takes a while to go from that path to, say, a small little 1-lane road, country road, to maybe 2 lanes, and to finally a 6-lane superhighway, which is your habits. So keep that in mind as you're creating change in your life, and you'll be able to be a lot more patient. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you, Abigail, so much for doing this with me. I hope what we've offered to you has been exceedingly helpful. Feel free to contact me if I can be of additional help in any of these areas so that you can be the best you. Where one of our specialties, by the way, is meditation. Yeah. One size does not fit all, and we need our own customized meditation to address our specific needs and as well as reach our goals. So it sounds like we have a few more seconds to do this one meditation, so why not? Here we go. Just follow us. You're going to press your thumb and index, thumb and middle, thumb and ring, and thumb and pinky. So let's try that. It's just that, 3, and there's a slight pause, and I'll tell you when there is. The words are simple. It's okay, just listen. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Sohang. This helps you make the impossible possible. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Sohang. Changing those neurons. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Sohang. You're doing great. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Sohang. A wonderful way to end being the best you. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Sohang. Satanama Ramadasa Sase Soham. Excellent. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening and caring about who you are and your life. Again, we all want to live long, but I think equally important is living well. Living well. So thank you so much.
And thank you, Michele.
Thank you, Abigail. It's been a real pleasure. A real, real pleasure.